Hi guys, Franz here, welcome back to another episode of Knights of Dragons. So in today's episode we're going to be talking about DECA Games and their handling of Knights of Dragons and GREE. So why did I come up with this video? It was just an idea that I actually wanted to make something of, because I feel like DECA Games and GREE have been doing two separate things, you know, and the approach they decided to give instead of just compared to GREE, it's just so fucking different, and that's the thing that I want to be talking about today. Just the approach of the two companies and how it works, because we all know that GREE started this and DECA Games is currently on the verge of doing stuff, and that GREE still has their logo everywhere. You know, that they still, like, it says like created by GREE and developed by Hugo or whatever, but I just want to be talking about that. You know, and in the background you'll sometimes see some things pop up in terms of basics being crafted. I'm doing this because of a quest, by the way. There's a quest for gold I'm leveling, and what I'm doing with that is I need to combine some shit. So yeah, I'm just crafting basics because they're the easiest to craft and get a lot of, because they take like 4.5 minutes to just do and craft and stuff. And yeah, of course, you'll also be seeing, you won't be seeing why I'm actually doing this right now, because I'm not in the guild yet, but maybe I'll just do a little video about the quests and stuff, you know, how to do it properly and blah blah blah. How much, am I still on top? No, Austin is on top. I already have crafted 69 armors in this guild. It's not like Eternality has to be maxed, because everything has already been maxed, even the gold, as you can see over here, the gold bank, it's just too big to handle. 1.5 fucking billion. Well, I believe that we are actually the richest guild in the entire Knights of Dragons community, as far as I know, at least, because I have not seen anybody with over 1.5 billion gold. I've seen 1 billion gold, but 1.5 billion is some of the most it's just the most gold I've ever seen in a guild. So if you have more, let me know in the comments down below, PM it to me as a screenshot, and I'll happily believe you. But after that, or actually before that, Eternality still has the record for 1.5 billion in terms of gold, standing in the gold bank. Perhaps there's guilds that have more, but for now it's just this. And let's actually begin the video, you know, before I start ranting too much about why my guild is so good at things. But I just want to be talking about DECA Games and GREE. We all know that DECA Games took over from GREE after they fucked up and went into the pit of doom, I guess. And now DECA Games is pretty much cleaning up the messes that GREE made. Or actually one big mess. It's not like there's multiple messes that they made. It's just one big fucking mess. Because Knights of Dragons is just one game, you know. And I don't know if they fucked up with the other games as well, because they had like 5 games or something, and one of them was already sold. Don't really know what it's called, but they had to sell that one. And Criminal Legacy, as we all might know, they even quit that game, and you had to go to Knights of Dragons, and of course you got everything you had, a little bit more in terms of, like, if you had the gems in you had in Criminal Legacy, where I guess you could change those for gems in Knights of Dragons. So because it was pretty much the same game by the same company, but I don't even know why they decided to quit that, honestly. But yeah, GREE has been doing this stuff more and more often, especially as of lately. I don't think that they are doing as good as they used to, you know. It just feels like they are getting less and less each day. And GREE was at that top when Knights of Dragons, like, I believe when Epics came out in Knights of Dragons. That's actually when people really were fucking hyped for everything, you know. And after that, you know, raid bosses came. Sure, the raid bosses are the best thing that were put in Knights of Dragons, for me, honestly. Because it brought a new perspective to the game and to the stuff, you know. And like when pets came around and jewelry came out, you know, it felt to me like this is just another extra addition to make the gap between pay to play as well as free to play even bigger in terms of stats, you know. Because it used to be not that big. It used to be like 1k stats difference, you know, because Blazeborn would have like 2k stats, and another armor that would come out, like Spectre Shroud maybe, would have like an amazing 3.6k stats. And now look at me. I'm not even halfway there yet in terms of stats, because 8K, like, it's very, very nice, of course, the 8K that I have, or almost have, on this armor, but it's not enough. You know, it's just not enough to do what I want to do in terms of, like, there's people with 10K stats, 12K. Just take a look at my fucking my Gold Sentinel. Just look at these stats. You know, I mean, they are not that good, but this one, fucking, he almost has 10K stats on both his attack and defense. What? I don't even get how he does that. Like 12K stats on fucking attack and even 10K stats on defense. This armor is ridiculously good. And I'm not saying that it's bad because of that, but it's just ridiculous how strong that these armors have become. You know, and even the run armors have become very strong, of course. And is that something I dislike? Well, I believe it went too fast, you know? I mean, Dragonforge came out and they really didn't do anything about a proper introduction for Dragonforge. You know, Shadowforge, when they announced that, you had a nice banner that said Shadowforge coming soon. They didn't say what it was, they just said coming soon. I mean, Dragonforge are kinda like, they never really got a special spot, because Shadowforge came so quickly after Dragonforge came, it was just meh to me. Like, Dragonforge never really had a relevance to the story, you know. Epics did, because they were running the game for, I believe, 1, maybe even 2 years, and Dragonforge and Shadowforge came out in a period of not even a year after one another. Which is unfortunate, because I would like to have Dragonforge to become something much bigger than it is right now, because Dragonforge, I still use them though, you know, I still use the remakes and the reforged armors, or however you want to call them, because they, stats wise, they are still good, you know, but that's about it. You know, they are worth fusing away right now, or even enhancing away. That's about all they are good for. But DECA Games and GREE. I believe that as of now, DECA Games has done a lot of better things in terms of listening to the community. They actually said, like, hey, you guys PM us, or actually say to us what alliance you're in, you know, and what guild you're in, and how much, or for how long you have been playing this game. And we'll make us a sort of council out of that, or a feedback community, and we'll see how that goes, you know. And that has actually worked so far, because they actually decided to even give out a Q&A. I didn't make a video about that one, because Timmy already did it, so I just decided to let him do that instead of me, because otherwise we would have both have done it, because I'm not really in contact with Timmy either way. But what I do know though is that DECA Games is actually listening to the community, but I don't believe that they know about me yet. I mean, they know about Timmy, but other people, other YouTubers like me, what was his name again? There's not really much Knights of Dragons YouTubers left anymore, because they all retired or quit the game or whatever, you know, all those like Boxy Cactus and I believe it was Abide and Skittles, they decided to quit as well, you know, it was only Abide or something, and Silas K&D, all those old channels, you know, they were such good quality channels. And now there's only a couple left together with me, and people still watch it. Don't get me wrong though, people still watch it, but it's like there were so many better quality content creators than I am currently doing. And yeah, they made better videos, they made better chest openings, of course they actually got something. But yeah, unfortunately I can't really make that much chest openings anymore, because I don't have the jet. I mean, I have 1100 right now, but I'm saving up. That's the problem. But I am having accounts that are currently completely maxed in terms of kingdom wise, so I can now start saving up gems, and when I do, there's going to be a lot of fucking more chest openings on the channel with my own account, so hopefully that'll be coming in about a month or two, because that saving up takes a damn long time, honestly. And yeah, maybe there'll be a fusion event, so I'll try my best at that, see if I can actually snag a fucking Shadowforge from it. But yeah, GREE, I felt like when they started this game, I think 6 years ago or 5 years ago, I believe it was 5 years ago, so I've been here for 80% of the game. And am I enjoying it right now? Yes. I wasn't enjoying it a couple months ago, because I was overly stressed because of everything, and Knights of Dragons didn't really feel like it anymore, you know, and then DECA Games decided to take over. and they had a much different approach from GREE. Because GREE, I believe 4 years ago they had tons of ideas, you know, but after that they went into, like I already stated before in this video, they went into the abyss, you know. And what is the abyss? Basically a money pit. You throw your money in there and nothing really in particular comes out anymore. Now what I personally would love for DECA Games to do is keep doing as they are doing now, you know, because GREE actually did this 4 years ago, and after a while they just decided to quit doing that for some reason. And that's also when the game went down, you know, because after raid bosses came out, it started to go down bit by bit, you know. I mean, not directly after the raid bosses came out, but after that, you know, between the period of the raid bosses as well as the Dragonforge, something happened, something snapped, you know. Maybe GREE went a little bit too greedy or whatever. Yeah, and then after that they decided to just make the best out of it and grab as much. It just felt like to me that they were grabbing as much as they could from this game while it was still relevant. And now, unfortunately, most of the Knights of Dragons community, there's still a lot, you know, but it's spread over 4 servers, so it might not look like a lot anymore. But there's still like the 1,500 guilds going for their events, you know. It used to be 4K for 1,000 guilds that went for an event. So it actually decreased by 50%, over 50%. I believe it decreased by about 60 to 70% in, what is it, 4 years perhaps? And that is just a fuck ton, because guilds got introduced, you know, and then epics got introduced, and then blah blah blah. But what this game needs right now is just a complete reboot, and that is DECA Games their plan, you know. And they're actually quite good with their community, as I stated before. They listen to you, but they also compensate you, because they have, if you haven't noticed yet, if you're really that much of a lunatic, they have quit this, you know. They have quit the gems in the milestones, and I completely agree, because like people that speed hack, there's a couple apps that actually lets you speed up the time of the game, and that actually makes some people cry, because you can get unlimited gems if you speed up the time from the game. It will just give you the milestones over and over again, you know. And you have unlimited energy, and therefore you also have pretty much unlimited access to these milestones. And like, it would speed up the time without speeding up the time itself, you know. So it would keep refreshing the same events. That's how you would get these gems over and over again, meaning you can get unlimited gems. That's why they decided to take this away from milestones in Epic Balls and Arena. And they didn't do it with when you actually get the stuff, the fucking the rankings. They didn't do it with that, because that's something that you really don't get from it. You know, you never actually get your ranking when you're done with speed hacking. You know, when the event is over, it automatically restarts itself. So you don't get the ranking like rewards. I didn't want to say it, but in the end I had to, you know. And as you can probably tell, it doesn't sound all too nice. Like rewards perhaps, or it's just the R that I can't pronounce, seriously though. But yeah, they changed the milestones so damn good, you know. But you can clearly see top 50 gets a Shadow Forge now, you know, and top 1 or top 3 actually gets a Shadow Forge Plus, and it's not that bad. But you have to spend a lot of gems that you can also spend on the top run, and the armor in there is much better. You can also get some more Shadow Forge materials, but also there's Shadow Forge materials in the milestones over here. So, like I said, it's not that bad at all. But did they actually decide to delete this? No, they have crystal fragments right here. Okay. Thunderstorm, Fiasco, and that's about all I see. Okay, so they didn't change that, but like they had to delete this. And they actually compensate us for that, you know, with Arena, NG, Epic Balls, NG, and gems. So you can still like get your weekly dose of gems that you would usually get from either the Epic Boss or the Arena. GREE, on the other hand, would never do that. You know, they would compensate you, but not as DECA Games is doing. So in my opinion, DECA Games right now is doing much better, just plainly by listening to their community. you know, and they are also fixing things internally, because what GREE always did was Shadowforge came out, Dragonforge wasn't fixed yet, you know. It always has been like that. They always decided to put out something new when all the things haven't really been quite well, you know. I mean, the game as of now is pretty much stable, but when GREE decided to let DECA Games take over, there were so many glitches, you know. There was a Guild War glitch when the Guild Sentinel was still up, or you lost your energy, or it would glitch out, or whatever. And they fixed all those glitches, and GREE was just planning on making as much money as they can, and so they decided to go with the startup. Fucking hell. Okay. And so they just decide to like put starter packs in it to get as much money out of it as they can. And DECA Games is doing that as well, but this is just an extra, you know, and the starter packs are actually much better right now. More value, so it's not that bad at all. Yeah, heroic mode also has become much better, you know, and like everything they are changing as of now is currently something, or what was something, not currently something. It was something that had to be changed. You know, the arena milestones, epic boss milestones, they all had to be changed just a little bit. You know, just so people could actually make sure that they could get Shadowforge somewhat easier. And that's what GREE, that's what DECA Games is doing right now. They're making the older Shadowforge, of course, they're making it easier to get, as well as they're changing up the tiers and everything, just so they look much better, you know. And it's actually working, because Arena is quite relevant again. People want to go for all the milestones again because of the Shadowforge materials that are in there, because perhaps you just need 2 of those crystal fragments. And yeah, there's 2 in there, so go for it, is all I'd say. And that's something that people sometimes overlook. I mean, I haven't really seen anybody complaining anymore over DECA Games fucking up, honestly. Because when they started, it was always GREE, blah blah blah. But I haven't been seeing that as much anymore. You know, sometimes it's like people are getting mad at each other, but it's mostly like that. You know, it's not that they are getting mad at the game anymore. So I don't really have much complaints actually about how DECA Games is putting this. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know on what you guys think in the comments down below. Is DECA Games doing better than GREE? That's also going to be the title. And in my opinion, yes. Just plainly yes. That's all I need to say. Because DECA Games is doing so much better as GREE did when they left, of course. Because they were at the pinnacle at once. And after that, of course, it went downhill. Because if you're in the abyss, there's nowhere else to go but up. And if you're at the pinnacle, there's nowhere else to go but down. So it's kinda... I also see what happens. So, I mean, I've seen everything that happened in the past 4 years to this game, unfortunately. And also nicely, because pets, I do love them. And the jewelry, I do love them in some sort of weird way. But like Dragonforge and Shadowforge, that's kind of where the epic boss is still something, you know, it's nice, but it's something that has to be relevant again. Where are the epic boss collections? You know, where are the epic boss armors that actually are good? Because I don't need a ++. Nobody in this entire fucking community, out of the, I believe it's a couple 100,000, 200,000 players that is playing this game still, nobody of those 100,000 or 100,000 plus, let's just say it like that, players is going to craft a fucking ++ that still doesn't do jack shit against the Dragonforge armor, the weakest of them even. So guys, thank you so much for watching. As I stated, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all again next time.